Humans cannot reach their potential, cannot realize their dreams unless they're free.
If prosperity were easy, everybody around the world would be prosperous. If freedom were easy, everybody around the world would be free. If security were easy, everybody around the world would be secure. They are not. None of this is going to be easy. But this is the United States of America. It takes an extraordinary effort. It takes extraordinary commitment. It takes extraordinary strength. The Valley Forge wasn't easy. Going to the moon wasn't easy. Settling the West wasn't easy. We are the American people. We have seen difficulties before, and we always overcome them. This is about rolling up our sleeves. We're going to have some differences, but at Americans putting our head down and getting it done.
All aboard the Trump train for better America. It's the award-winning Wayne Dupree Show.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Wayne Dupree Show. I am your host, Wayne Dupree, and it is another day, another dollar, or another day, another 50 cents, another day, another quarter, however it is. Ladies and gentlemen, glad to have you with us here on the Wayne Dupree Show. Conservative real talk for, well, actually just real talk for real Americans. We're going to bring it to you. We're going to let you decipher and, whatever you want to do with it. We hope that you keep it. We hope that you put it out there. We asked you to share the show. We do know that we have people that just want to watch. Yes, we must watch. But we're asking you to share the show tonight. We have a guest coming in, Mr. Bruce Lavelle. He was a surrogate for President Trump, and he was on many of the stations, many of the networks. As a Black American, supporting the candidate, and he still supports him today. So Mr. Lavelle is taking the initiative, and he's running for Congress from Georgia, and he has a good shot. He is great head on his shoulders. So we're looking forward to bringing him on the show. Let me see. I think Hutch is off of his show. Let me bring him on. There he is, Mr. Hutch Bailey Jr. Go ahead, Hutch. How you doing?
One at RSBN and Spreaker and everywhere else. Fine Tuesday evening with just feet after feet of snow outside in Pittsburgh, but not really.
Yeah, us either. I was mad. I was like, wait a minute. You trying to tell me y'all did it again?
If I'd have owned an airline, I'd have been really mad.
Man, I cannot believe that they did it again. They did it again, man.
Over 4,000 flights. Unless you listen to Shepard Smith, then it's like 5,000 or 6,000. But I saw 4,700 everywhere else.
For this.
I know. It's unbelievable, man. We've turned into a country in crisis. Look, not a loaf of bread on the shelf anywhere.
Our weather people have has tissue paper feelings. They're sensitive. They're snowflakes, man.
I know.
Gosh,
it's
man.
Unreal.
Oh, it's we got this current from the north coming, and then we got this one from the south, and then we got this little high pressure over here. Man, it's gonna be a doozy. Y'all better go outside and get your food and get everything that you need to get, because y'all gonna be snowed in for days. Yeah.
Now, you people that are over 40, when you start shoveling, it's gonna be the heavy snow. So pace yourself.
Yeah. You know what? Today, I was waiting till the last minute before I shoveled snow, and then you know who I heard? It wasn't ice.
Who was it?
Had these two, not brawny. Had these two young men. They were like, "Can we shovel your snow?"
Awesome.
Oh, heck yeah, man.
I give them. I let them do it every time.
Yes,
they come
sir.
around about once every 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. I was like, look, all I got is 20. That's it. I really don't carry money because I don't have any. But
Right.
You know, I got 20. He was like,
Now 20, that
I'll
means
take
like
it.
around the back, and shovel the car off. You know,
Well,
we're gonna pretend this is 1970 money. I get the roof. You know?
Yeah, well, I found an extra $5. So, you know, they did a real good job. They did a real good job, and I just went back and laid it back down.
Did you do that when you were a kid?
No. Well, no.
I did.
No, I did not.
I was a little entrepreneur, but if we got off of school, man, that was a whole day, and I did it like a businessman too.
Okay.
I did the first two.
Yeah, I bet you did.
The first 2 or 3 sidewalks I did, I saved that money up, and then after that, I ran down to the hardware store and I bought a bag of salt. Then the price went up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see you now. Hey, 2 bits Thursday.
Yeah, right.
Bang bang.
Washing cars was the same way. I borrow a little soap off of my mom and go out and wash a couple cars. Take that money and go buy some turtle wax. Price went up, baby.
I can see you, man. I can see you. You're like, hey,
It was
hey,
fun.
Hey, Jimmy, come here.
Yeah.
You take
Hey,
care.
ants, come here. Vito.
Let's see. Wait a minute. You take care of that car on Tuesday, right? They owe you, man.
Remember that one down the street? He said no.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what you gotta do. You know what you gotta do. He left that tear out of his tire. We'll sell him some.
They said no.
I got some good tires on sale. They came from the other block. Hold on.
That's funny, though. That's funny. Hey, you remember the ones down the street? They said no. Take care of them. Yeah. Okay. So but yeah,
No.
the snow didn't come. Well, the snow didn't come like I thought it was gonna come. It was a little. Ugh, I don't even want to talk about it.
I got literally nothing.
You didn't?
Zero.
We got a little bit of something.
It snowed all day, but it was light and nothing stuck.
Yeah, it was more like ice more for the most part. It was more like ice. So, but ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we have Bruce Lavelle coming in. He's going to talk to us about his race in Georgia. Oh, I didn't even get to tell Hutch this. Tomorrow night we're supposed to have Sheriff Clark.
I did see that. I looked at the schedule like you told me to, and it's right in there. I've been telling people that I know to make sure they check it out. There should be a strong audience in Camp Arif John in Kuwait listening. You know, this is something that, you know, he's been good to us ever since he came on the scene.
Oh yeah. Well, not really. This be the first time.
Well, I should say I remember seeing him for the first time
at CPAC.
At CPAC,
Yeah,
and that was like the first time that I ever heard of the guy.
Yeah.
And boy, I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, and we've said this before, but it's true because at that time he came in uniform. The time that I saw him,
He was tall, wasn't he?
big man. I mean,
He was
he's
tall.
one of those guys. He didn't even have to have the uniform on.
Nope.
And he plays that uniform out too.
Oh
man. He's
yeah.
a four-
Yeah.
He's a 4-star general.
Oh yeah.
He got 4 stars on the collar, and you can just tell he's in charge. If something happens, that dude over there is in charge.
But I do have another announcement to make. We will not be broadcasting on RSBN tomorrow. They let me know that they have a Trump rally tomorrow night. So we'll be broadcasting the interview on Spreaker at 9:00. So the show will go on. We just won't be doing it on RSBN. And on Monday, and the reason why I'm telling you this, because some of y'all fuss me out like it's my fault that we ain't on and stuff. So I'm telling y'all ahead of time, we won't be on RSBN on Wednesday. Yeah, no. We
You know.
no. But and Monday night, we won't be on RSBN. Another Trump rally, so they're going to be playing the Trump rallies on RSBN. So, but
that's what got him to the dance.
oh yeah, but we'll still be doing our show anyway, because that's what got us to the dance.
That's right. Hey,
That's what got us moving. So, I just want to let everybody know. You can follow. You can download our app, Spreaker. Our app in the Android or the iPhone store. It's called The Wayne Dupree Show. Hutch Bailey Jr. also has one.
Cold War Radio.
Cold War Radio. And you can download those apps, put them on your phone, or you can just go to Spreaker at 9 o'clock on Wednesday night and Monday night and tune into the show. So,
And you can download the apps right from there, too.
yeah, you can, can't you? Okay.
Yeah, it's right up there. And it's the neatest thing. People really like it because they can chat right from the app.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's some kind of a notification that lets you know when the show's on right to your phone.
Yep.
Somebody was saying something about that. So good deal.
Susan in the chat room says, I like you, Wayne. I would never. I like you too much, Wayne. I would never. Okay, well, thank you, darling. Rachel Maddow. I wouldn't even go in here.
Why do you want to talk about him?
Well, it's been causing problems lately. It's acting like he got Donald Trump's 2005 tax returns, like it's really means something. I mean, the man's already president, so who cares?
She must have got 100,000 impressions on Twitter.
Well, I hope that the police are there to arrest her and cart her off to jail, because however she got it, it was illegal. You just can't.
Right. I mean, it seems like, Wayne, one of the things about these days, and man, I can't wait until Jeff Sessions gets like really moving, because I think that was the most frustrating thing of the last 8 years, was nobody paid for anything except for Republicans that didn't do much.
Yeah.
Like you had that governor in Virginia that took a watch and went to federal prison for it. Him and his wife went to federal prison. But you got Al Sharpton walking around with a $4 million nugget on his back that he didn't pay the taxes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And all the other ones that are even worse than that.
And everybody's quiet about it too.
I know.
Nobody's really talking about Sharpton. But then again, why even bring up dead meat? He's just a sneeze away from that 6 foot under.
He looks horrible, man.
Yeah.
He that hair, it's like there's a rat growing on the back of his head.
Biggest head I have ever seen outside of O.J. Simpson.
That neck, you got to give that neck credit.
Yeah, for holding that thing up.
It got skinny too. That used to be a big dude, man. I don't know with those running suits. He used to wear them running suits.
He used to wear those.
Yeah. Oh man, I mean, out in a parade. It's like, Al, man, you should
at
like
125 degrees.
Yeah,
you
with
see
that hair. Remember that hair?
Yeah. All
like,
frizzed
Al, you
up.
need to get one of them big Lincolns and just ride in the car instead of marching down the middle of the street with that megaphone.
Oh my God. Okay, so with that said, some of the news that I don't even want to talk about that either. Yeah, really.
There was a good development in the news today.
What you got?
A very good development.
Go.
I was reporting the last couple of days because we made the pledge that if this guy screws up, we're going to say something. And General Mattis made a big error.
What did he do?
He put in for nomination. I don't know if you remember the Arab Spring in Egypt when the ambassador to Egypt was Obama's right-hand man. Her name was Patterson. She was the ambassador, and they wanted to kill her over there because she backed the Muslim Brotherhood and Mohammed Morsi.
Was she trans?
It was a big deal. I mean, they had like placards out. They wanted her and Obama were always side by side on these placards. And Mattis wanted to appoint her as the number 4 person in the Department of Defense. And I lost it on my show 3 nights in a row. And today the Trump administration crushed him, said, nope. Can't have her. Pick somebody else.
Oh, that's good.
And I was like, yeah, for the win, baby.
You know what?
I was worried, man. I was real worried.
You know what? I have to give it to you, and I meant to do it last week. Yeah, I think it was last week. But I meant to do it, and I think that everybody out there should also give Hutch accolades for this, because Hutch called it. Hutch called it before we even knew about it, because many of us, we continue to be blinded by love support, but where common sense comes in, we don't want to lose that common sense. Okay, we don't want to lose the common sense. We can't.
I don't want to end up being MSNBC on the right.
So Hutch was on point about Flynn.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Hutch was on point about Michael Flynn. He didn't come out and bash Flynn. But he had reservations, and those reservations were sound. And Hutch came on here, and I remember one show. I
was all by myself. I'm gonna say it anyway.
Yep. And me myself, I have to apologize because I didn't.
No, you don't.
Even Flynn told the White House that he was going to register as a foreign.
For Turkey, for Erdogan, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it. I was nervous about that and the reason that I was nervous is because I really have a lot of high hopes right now for the Kurdish people.
Mm-hmm.
The Kurds are helping us, and they've helped us every time. And every time, both Bushes and Clinton, they all stuck it right in their nose.
Right.
They abandoned them every time. These poor people, I can't believe that they're still our allies after how many times we screwed them. And I'm thinking, we got a good guy in there now. Maybe we can really back him.
Right.
Maybe we should send them some F-16s or something like that. Let them have a fighting chance over there.
Mm-hmm.
But Flynn was working with Erdogan, and I'll tell you, McMaster is no better in my opinion. McMaster, keep an eye on that guy. And I'll tell you, that hurts me to say that because I went to high school with the guy. And I'm here to tell you, he's probably a great general, but he does not get the global jihad.
Right.
He thinks that Islam's the religion of peace and it's all something else and it's fanatics and enough on that. Just pay attention to the guy.
Well, I mean, I'll go back again. I think everybody should at least give Hutch some credit for that because, again, we try to keep things real, and it's not always popular because, I would like everything to be perfect myself, but we don't want to get in trouble, man. We don't want to get caught with our pants down. We don't want to get locked out of the house. And we definitely don't want to get called out by somebody in the media when there really is something wrong. And in the case of Flynn, I was like, man, look, hey, it's going to be a great thing. And when things come to lay out and stuff, I was like, wow, man, I got to give it to Hutch. I really do. So there you go.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And it's just something that, we said this from the beginning. Actually, even before I met you, Wayne, Ward and I, when we started Steel City Resistance, we said, because that was in the middle of Obama was the king. There was no Republican around. And we said, no matter what, 2 + 2 has to always equal 4, to quote Newt Gingrich.
Mm-hmm.
If it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. I'm not following any man blindly.
Right.
I'll gladly follow somebody proudly.
Mm-hmm.
I've been proud of Donald Trump so far. I wish he'd get up off of that pre-existing. Oh, let me not even go there again. I already had to deal with that. But if you have to do it, just do it, man.
Let me see if Skype fixed everything. Bruce, are you on the line? Hello.
404.
404. All right. Okay. Well,
I think what that is, I was researching a little bit. Did you know that Microsoft just bought Skype?
They bought Skype a long time ago.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
They just made me merge my account today.
Oh, really? Let's see. And I think I just got him on just a few seconds ago. Ladies and gentlemen, a friend of mine. We talk regularly. I have great admiration for him and what he's been able to do. And I've only known him for less than a year now, but it feels like I've known him for a while. I think that's because he calls me on my cell phone and I call him on his cell phone, and we just talk for a long time. But he has a wonderful daughter that works in the White House, and he's decided to answer the call. He's decided to answer the call and take the initiative, like I said before, and put his name on the line to run for Congress. And I want to welcome one of the board members of the National Diversity Coalition for Donald Trump, Mr. Bruce Lavelle. How you doing, Bruce?
Hey, thanks, Wayne. Thanks for having me. Awesome.
And I also have my co-host on the line, Mr. Hutch Bailey Jr.
Well, thank you for coming on the program, Mr. DeVell. It's an honor, sir.
Glad to be back. It's always awesome and fun to be on some folks where I don't have to fuss and fight. And, I don't have to prepare myself, if you know what I mean, Wayne.
Oh no, you're gonna prepare yourself tonight? No, I'm kidding. Okay.
No, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
Those unfriendly stations.
Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Bruce has been on CNN, MSNBC, Fox. He's been on CBS, PBS, ABC, all of the alphabet networks. And if you look at how they treat black Republicans versus the rest of the people, I mean, there was a time that they weren't even allowing any of the black surrogates for Trump on TV. Isn't that right, Bruce?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. But the one thing about being on the Wayne Dupree show, it's not like that. Thank you, Jesus.
Well, look, my friend, you are getting ready to run for Congress, and well, actually, you're already running for Congress. And
that's correct.
Let me get that website out there real quick while you're talking. What's your website?
It's LavelleForCongress.com.
And it's spelled
Levell.
Okay.
Congress.com. Lavelle for Congress.
Okay, now
LEVELLFOR Congress.com.
Now you know what comes with this. I mean, they are going hard after out hard after Donald Trump surrogates, publicly, privately. Correct. They're going hard at him, and you will have them coming after you. What made you decide to do this, to put your name on the line and say, I've got to do this?
Well, Wayne, it's just like you and many others and thousands of listeners out there. President Trump came out there with a passion, and he resurrected the spirit of America, and we bought into that vision. And, just because he was sworn in, which, we were there, wasn't like, okay, he's sworn in, goodbye. No. This is the continuing fight for this great vision that this president has, as well as wanting to be able to help him accomplish those great visions. And so the only way I could see fit to do that is when, Congressman Tom Price went over to the HS department. The seat was vacant. And I'm like, I think I could be a great asset to the president as a congressman in Georgia, but not just a Georgia congressman, a United States congressman, a congressman for all the people across the country. And, building the largest diversity coalition in a Republican candidate's history, Pastor Scott and Michael Cohen, Omarosa was on, and yourself as a member, Wayne, and many, many others, the most diversified board in the land with over 1 million plus people signed up. So, I think at the end of the day, the passion still rolls, and I want to be a champion to help the president, not work against him. Right. And, you probably talked to my daughter today. She's doing a lot of hits on, the Affordable Health Care Act that they're trying to redo that won't kill us all as Americans, and not afraid to go to the doctor because our premiums are so high. The infrastructure plan that the president has. I mean, I was a former chairman of the transportation here at MARTA, which is one of the 8th largest rail systems in the country. So there's a lot to offer for me that I could help the president and help America. So I said, you know what? I'll put up or shut up. I put my name on the ballot. And so here we are,
Mr. Lavelle, Hutch Bailey Jr. again. I gotta really thank you for saying what you just said. It's one of the things that we've been saying ever since the election, when we realized just the array of anti-Trump leftists that are up against this administration. We are in the top or the bottom of the first inning, and we have to stay in campaign mode. I'm not saying we're in a campaign, but like you said, we can't just go home.
It's ongoing. Yeah,
that's right. I mean, we have to stay in warrior mode for lack of a better term. So I'm glad that you recognize that, and I'm glad that you're going to go after Tom Price's seat. Now, this is something that you probably, since he was in it and he's a conservative, you probably have a good shot at it. Am I right?
Yeah, that's true. I do have a good shot.
That's
You know,
excellent.
I think at the end of the day, you know, there are 18 running, 11 Republicans and 7 Democrats. It's a 64+% Republican district. And, you know I have a good shot. You know, I do have the name ID. There's one thing that I can bring to the congressional seat is the relationship with the White House. Every
Right.
single person in the administration, I have their cell phone.
And locally,
And-
I mean, you were the chairman of the Gwinnett County GOP,
Yeah.
so you
Yes,
should have
I ran one
connections
of the
from them.
largest county. That's correct. I ran one of the largest Republican counties in the entire country. Ran a surplus, put 2 House members under the Gold Dome under my leadership, and raised tons of money. And my matter of fact, my breakfasts range anywhere in attendance of 250 to 300 minimum on a Saturday morning. So, I can bring the hammer. I have the horsepower, and
Excellent.
Lord knows I've been battle tested, haven't we, Wayne?
Oh,
My
yeah.
Conservatives
Oh, yeah.
have been tested. I've been cussed out. I've been talked about. But it made me stronger. And Lord knows I've been vetted because I've been under the microscope since 2015, since I introduced President Trump to the state of Georgia, off his plane in front of an arena of 50,000 people. I was the first to introduce him. So, there is a desire to serve and a desire to help President Trump with these great initiatives. I mean, my God, guys, look at the time he's been in. Look what's been accomplished.
Yeah.
Right. That's
And-
amazing.
It's
And
phenomenal. So-
that's what I think is a great how do you call it, springboard into what you're doing right now, because he's really moving not legislation forward, but he's doing these actions. So it's almost like he's planting that seed, Bruce. He's planting the seed
Exactly.
because sooner or
Right.
later it's going to start sprouting. And to know that you have been with that you were in those trenches, that you were behind the scenes, and to have him in your corner, not that he's going to be campaigning early or anything like that, but to know that you had something to do with that,
Right.
it's got to be a plus win-win thing for you.
Well, I mean, I like to say we. Wayne, I think the thing that really bothers me since I've been in the race is that, in the fight, we, me, you, we, most of your listeners, I want to say all of your listeners, hopefully, is that, during this tenure where he is now, it's amazing to see the Klingons and the wannabes who cling on and jump on, acting like they've been with us all along. When you and I and thousands of listeners have battle scars and wounds to prove it. I think I resent that the most as it relates to, you know what I mean? You want to cultivate, you find a seed, you go out in the fields to plant the seed. No one wants to come. They sit in the air condition while you're in the hot sun slaving. And then when the bread grows, when you have the bread and you cut it up, now everybody want to show up and eat the bread. But nobody wanted to work the field in the hot sun.
Right.
And it's disappointing. Like there's one gentleman in the race now that he's trying to act like he was in there all along. Like, oh, you remember me? I'm like, no.
Nope.
Nope.
Never seen you before.
We have him in this business too.
And these are the people that put Never Trump on their Twitters and their Facebooks, and then they try to delete their profiles and act like it never happened. And I'm like, really? So, I think that really is the most troubling thing because, everyone had an opportunity to pick a candidate. Some people pick Rubio. Some people pick Bush. Some people pick Kasich. I mean, my God, people who picked Kasich, he went in there in the polling booth and came out and bragged about him writing in a candidate. And he called himself a Republican governor. instead of uniting, instead of accepting the fact that we were going to accept whoever the nominee was going to come out of that RNC convention. Remember?
There we go.
Instead, we're still fighting. We still had to fight all the way down to November 8th. And then we had to fight all the way January 20th.
Right, right.
So, I think it's still campaign mode. I encourage a lot of the listeners out there, if you have a desire to serve city council, state senate, commission seat, school board, take that passion that the president has and the passion that you have or we have that wanted to help the president and take it to a ballot. Put your name on the ballot.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to encourage across the land, where no one as a candidate is beholding to a special interest, a lobbyist. I'm not taking lobby money. I'm not lining up with PACs. I'm taking money organic, Wayne, and that's what we need across the country.
Right.
So none of us from that alderman or that city council seat or county, state house seat is not beholding. We can actually transform America by having elected people in office who are not selling their seats for votes or kickbacks. This is a revolution. I said it on Don Lemon's show that night. You were there, Wayne. CNN. I was right there. I told them, I said, y'all better wake up. Y'all will awaken a sleeping giant. The American people are tired. We're tired.
Look, hey, Bruce.
We're tired.
Bruce, you get into Congress and you know how they play. You know what they do. You even know some of them personally. How do you not get caught up with what's going on? Because like you see right now, you have the House conservatives who are fighting, well, not fighting, but they're having a huge disagreement with Paul Ryan, who people thought was conservative. And what do you do as a freshman? But, I know you wouldn't go in there as a freshman. You would go in there like, listen, I'm here. I ain't even gonna act like no freshman. I'm here to do some work. But what would you do to on your first day in all that mess?
Well, you're referring to, in reference to the speaker, is the division in terms of the Affordable Care Act. Yeah. Revision, repeal, however you want to categorize
amendment.
it.
Yeah.
The president took Dr. Price, who is a very well-known surgeon in Georgia, great orthopedic surgeon, who took a lot of his health providers, other doctors, RNs, LPNs, and got together and wrote this plan, and got together from people who are in this field and put a plan and gave it to the president. The president looked at his ideas into it, and he said, hey, when he put it out there, what did he do, Wayne? He tweeted, hey, I'm looking forward to this great plan, looking for, quote, negotiations. He put that in there. It's not in stone, but it's a start. It's better than what we have. So the question is, let's work together and embrace some kind, this great idea, and then we can revisit. It's a building process. I will tell you this about the president. The best way to approach President Trump, and I know this for a fact, I've been around and I can't tell you how many times, if you got something to say, just make an appointment and go see him. You don't have to get on CBS News and ABC like John McCain and Lindsey Graham and try to grandstand. I'm like, my God, go in there and cut the deal behind. Just shut the door and say, Mr. President, blah, 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 blah. He'll listen. But don't get out there, how they say it, don't get before the cart, before the wagon. Yeah. Make the deal. He said negotiations. We got to start somewhere. And that's real leadership.
Well,
leadership
you know what,
is not
though?
going out there blabbing. It's going in there and say, come on, guys, shut the door. We're going to spend the night until we come together.
My thing.
Call your wives. We ain't leaving.
My thing is, my thing is what they had last year, and Tom Price voted for it last year. That all the Republicans voted for it last year. I'm still wondering why they didn't start with that. Everybody was on board for that. So I don't know why that wasn't the starting point. To me, I don't want no issues. And plus, even if it was a starting point, people will be able to take off and put on that whatever they needed to. But at least everybody agreed to it. It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
It just doesn't make sense
And,
to.
and let me go a little further here. Earlier on the call, when I spoke earlier, I mentioned something very key.
Mhm.
Special interests, where some elected officials are still beholden
Yes.
to those contracts
Sure.
and those agreements.
Right.
Most.
Come on, somebody. Y'all
Right.
hear me?
Right. Right.
So, when you hear the term drain the swamp, that's not a joke.
Right.
I was on another news affiliate earlier today, and the swamp is not some kind of cartoon, guys. Okay.
No, it's real. It's real.
Right. It's a living, breathing
Sure.
monster that has to be conquered.
Right.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of cleansing. I said this many, many times on many, many stations. I said, a lot of the guilt lies on both sides of the aisle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not
You're
all
absolutely-
the Democrats' fault.
You're so right.
So this spirit has been called out,
Mm-hmm.
and this spirit is on both sides of the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
And I encourage all the listeners, if you're inspiring to run, I invite you to go look at these ballots around your counties and states and put your name on it. But just one thing I just want to say is that make sure that no one owns you. You go in there with your name and your name on the ballot and no one else that you're beholding to.
Right.
And that's what we're looking for across the country. People
And
who are
you know-
not beholding.
And where it starts too is if you're successful in making a run for Congress, for the House of Representatives, and you get there, and boy, you always wanted to be on that one committee. Well, I'll tell you, it costs money to get on those committees.
Yeah,
And
right.
there's
All that needs
guaranteed going to be
overhauled,
somebody
sir.
there. There's going to be somebody there like Paul Ryan or Scalise or McCarthy that's going to say, "Hey, man, don't worry about that. I got that fee."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
that's where it starts.
Yeah.
But I just
Yeah.
wanted to say one other thing, sir. When it comes to this healthcare situation, there's a lot of people that were mobilized for this election for the first time in their lives, and I've met several of them work for me, and I mean these people, they're 50 years old, their mother's 75 years old, none of them ever voted before. And they went and they took themselves. I'm from Pittsburgh. They took themselves to get registered. They registered. They went and voted for Trump, and they're out there by their millions. And when they heard repeal every single word of Obamacare, and then they see this amendment of the Affordable Care Act that Paul Ryan has brought out, they don't speak that language. Now, I've been following politics all my life, as you have, as Wayne has.
Right.
We understand that, but they don't understand that, and nor should they. He said one thing, and I think it is a very dangerous situation for him to have said that so many times, and to not make that happen. Your thoughts, sir?
Well, I think we're still premature, and I'm still very optimistic. The fact that here we go with the word negotiations. I still believe in that. It's not a done deal.
Right.
It is a work in progress, but it is a progress, which we haven't had in 8 years. Once it got, should I say, shoved down our throat, respectfully, that was it. There was no Congress. There was nobody that was able to put anything forward to come back and to readjust it, realign it, whatever word you want to use. So I'm very optimistic, and I will say this on this note. This is not really going to be the bigger fight. We're going to work this out. The bigger fight is when the tax cuts come.
And
when the tax cuts come, that's when the real swamp starts to drain, ladies and gentlemen.
That's true.
Yeah.
Entitlements and all the things that's been linked historically on both sides of the aisle that has to drain.
Right.
And come back to the employer, come back to the American people. For an employer as myself, who's been creating jobs for 25 years, I'm self-employed,
Mm-hmm.
I have employees, I would love to see my payroll taxes low. I would love to minimize or do away with, I have inventory tax, sales tax, payroll tax, occupational tax, alarm fee tax. The list goes on. So I am there. I say stay tuned to where that is really, respectfully, where the big fight's going to be. And I know that for a fact because a lot of things, unfortunately, the American people, or should I say a lot of the elected officials who've been accustomed to being in office for 30 years and 25 years, don't want to let go of the umbilical cord. and that's
Or
what's
their
gonna
whole,
get
or their
us
whole,
comfortable.
their whole life, like Paul Ryan, his entire
Which,
life.
which leads me to say this too, Wayne. I have pledged from day one, and I've signed it. It's all out there in every news article across the country.
Mm-hmm.
I only want to serve 8 years and get out.
Okay. All right. There we
That's
go.
it.
Yeah.
That's
Term limits.
That's it.
Well, listen.
That
Listen.
gives
I
you
want to come
immediate
out, and
credibility.
I want Wayne Dupree to come take my place or someone else.
Okay.
And I say that to say, bring some more ideas, fresh ideas. I don't want to sit up there and stale. And, historically, most of the boards that I've been privileged and honored to serve on, I don't like to stay past 4 or 5 years. I feel like I'm getting stale. I want somebody new to come up there. Get someone some new, fresh ideas. Keep those juices flowing, as they say. So I'm one of the only candidates that said, hey, I'm out. And, I think it's I think it's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it keeps a lot of people motivated that want to come serve and not, have someone up there like Mr. Cummings, who's been over there for 30 years in his seat. And,
He's got to
I
go,
think
man.
It's healthy.
He's got to go.
Bruce,
He's got to
do you know
go.
anybody from Atlanta? Do you know anybody from? I mean, Hank Johnson, man. Can we do something with Hank?
Well, I mean, John Lewis has been there almost 30 years.
John Lewis needs to go
and
too.
what does he do? He doesn't show up to the president's inauguration.
Yeah, he needs to go
Like,
too.
are you kidding me?
As a matter of fact, we got somebody from the show that wants to be part of your campaign out. She lives down there in Georgia too, so I will.
I love it.
Yeah, I'll hook you up with her after the show. I'll send her information to you. How can people reach out to you on your website again?
Well, it's Bruce Lavelle for Congress is my Facebook, or Bruce Lavelle, BruceLevello is my Facebook. My Twitter is Bruce_Lavelle. Very easy to find. And my website is lavelleforcongress.com. It's LevelleForCongress.com. And or you can take Bruce Lavelle and put it in the Google box.
There you go.
You can find me.
When is the election? When is the election?
The election is April 18th.
April.
It is a special election.
It's a special.
Oh,
April the 18th.
that's coming up.
Yeah, it's a mad dash, exactly.
Okay.
It's a mad dash.
Well, look,
And there'll be some more across the country because as soon as some of these seats are cabinet seats that appointed seats, some of these other congressional seats and senatorial seats will come open.
But Bruce,
So
you
that's
said
why I
there was like
encourage a lot of listeners.
You said there was like 18 people. Is it a primary
18
first?
total. No, sir. It's a special, meaning it's a free for all. Everyone can go to the polls.
Oh, wow.
April
Oh,
18th.
man.
Right.
I like
This
that.
is why I really know I have a great shot.
Right.
Awesome. Good luck,
know?
man.
That almost sounds like the jungle vote thing they got down in Louisiana. It
Similar.
yeah, they have something
But I
like
will
that.
tell you
Now.
this: the good thing about it, Wayne, is that it's a vote by the people for the people.
Right.
A
Right.
good friend of mine, Alan Cobb, who ran the coalitions for the Trump campaign,
Uh-huh.
he ran in Kansas, and he had to run based on this caucusing type deal where 160 people voted, and they didn't put it on the ballot. So I'm thankful that it is on the ballot for the people, by the people, and I wish a lot of the other states would exercise that anytime there's an open seat, that it has to go to the people by any means necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very grateful for that, truly.
Well, look, I'm going to have you back on in a couple of weeks, man, to find out where you are. I'll be talking to you offline, but I want to have you back on in a couple of weeks to see
Well, I love you guys. I
where you are,
appreciate it.
to see where we can help out. But again, that is LavelleForCongress.com, right?
Yes, sir.
L
Yes, sir.
LEVELL for Congress, FOR Congress.
Yeah. .com. That's correct.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Hey, my brother, love you, man. I'll be talking to you in a little bit.
Thank y'all. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I love your show. I love you. Thank you. And I said this before. My prophecy is that someone's going to walk up one day and said, Mr. Dupree, is $200 million okay for your show? Is that okay?
Yeah.
And we
yeah.
want all your hosts too. We want them to.
Break a little piece of that off
Hey.
for me, brother.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Talking to a guy that came to Atlanta with $35. You never know.
That's right. That's right.
You never know.
Thanks
Hey,
for coming
I
on the show,
receive
sir.
and I all right. Thank y'all.
Thank you, B.
Have a blessed evening. Thank
Okay.
you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Bruce Lavelle. He's running for Congress in Georgia. Make sure you share his website, LavelleForCongress.com, LevelleFor Congress.
He's got a shot too. Man.
Oh yeah. He's got a good shot.
I didn't realize he was running again in Price's district. I mean, that's almost unless there's somebody else there that has something going on, it should be easy.
Yeah. While this was going on, I mean, if some of you came in late because you were looking at this Rachel Maddow thing, I could have told you she didn't have nothing. The White House, before she even went on the shows, told how much that Donald Trump paid in taxes in 2005. So they scooped her. Well, I mean, look, now social media is making fun of her, which is good, which is really good, because she waited until maybe about 9:25, 9:30 before she even said anything about it. She played 2 commercials in between. It was a ratings thing, people. It was a ratings thing. I tweeted out before that show. I was like, do you think the MSNBC would have waited for Rachel Maddow at 9 o'clock to push some tax returns for Donald Trump? They would have put Brian Williams on at 7 o'clock p.m. with that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Can you believe that guy still has a job?
No. Well, no.
I saw him the other day, and he's talking about the moral clarity that Donald Trump doesn't have. And I'm thinking, moral? Dude, you said that you were in a helicopter with dead GIs or whatever his story was, and I can't believe you still have a job.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off. That just came right to my mind.
He's still there. I am reading. Let's see, where's it at? I had it up here. Let's see. Trump releases 2005 tax info ahead of Rachel Maddow report.
Nice. He's so smooth. I love this guy. I do.
White House accuses.
I can't wait for a real fight. He's going to knock somebody's ass out. I'm telling you. This guy is a street guy, man. I'm telling you. Right. He's a street guy with a lot of money.
White House accuses MSNBC of violating the law.
See, this is music to my ears. These people have been getting away with everything for 8 years, Wayne. Longer than that.
Yep.
Did you see what CNN did?
Wow.
CNN came out with this tape that is so irrelevant. It's another tape of Brown in the store at a different time.
Let me tell you something.
It's like, who cares? Has nothing to do with anything.
It didn't have nothing to do with it. And on top of that, because I had a chance to look at the video, the attorney for the Ferguson March, the attorney came out and said what the documentary is all about. The guy edited the video, so it showed the documentary was showing that Brown gave them back their stuff and left, and basically came back the next morning to get it. No, that's not how it happened.
We saw him snatch the Korean dude up.
The dude
he pushed him.
He pushed him.
That guy. I saw a report on the autopsy that the family asked for. Mm-hmm. They asked a specific surgeon to do this autopsy, and he did it. And I read his report, and he said this guy, if he would have never got mixed up with whatever he was doing in Ferguson, he was easily NFL lineman material. I mean, he's looking at his body, right? And his body was so big and so physically fit that he said he could have played for the NFL easily. I mean, if he had any skills, but you don't really need that many skills as a lineman. You just need strength.
Well, the thing is, he was trying to take the cigarillas. I don't even know what these
sweets.
Yeah, whatever they are.
Swisher sweets.
What are they? What are they?
Cheap cigars. Man.
Cigars? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, cheap cigars.
Right.
Small. They're about half as big as a real one.
He was trying to get them that night, but
right.
The people that were behind the counter said, no, you ain't going to switch no reefer or nothing for this thing. So he gave them back. Now, in the documentary was like, well, they were going to hold it for him so he could come and get them the next day. But if you look at the attorney, and I have the video, I went and found a video first thing this morning. They took the cigarillas. Is that what they're called again?
Sure.
Okay. They took the cigarillas and put them. No, it's not. You making fun of me?
No, cigarillos is a way of saying a small cigar. Yeah.
Cigarillos.
Cigarillos.
They took the cigarillas out of the bag and put them back on the shelf. Now, if he was coming back to get them, why in the world would they take him out of the bag and put them back on the shelf?
But the initial video, didn't he lean over the counter and snatch them off the shelf himself?
Right, exactly. He did.
The dude is big. Have you ever seen an NFL player?
Yeah.
The dude is lineman size.
Yeah.
He's 7 foot tall. He could lean over the counter and grab anything in the back he wants. And that's what I saw.
Yep.
And then the little Korean dude, that poor guy.
No, he was Indian. He was Indian.
Or Indian.
Yep.
Okay, Indian. But he comes out, he's about 5 foot tall.
Yeah.
And this dude like lifts him up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, dude,
you
can have the cigars.
You know he had a gun, don't you?
No, I did not know that.
No. I'm talking about the store owner had a gun.
Well, the store owner, you can't shoot somebody over some cigars.
Yeah, right, you know? right. But he had a gun in his pocket.
Owner.
He had a gun in his pocket when Brown
probably
pushed
a 22 or something. It probably would have bounced off the dude. You know,
yeah.
It's a big guy, man. I saw another video. I don't know if you saw the video of Michael Brown beating a guy up in the projects.
No. That was fake.
Brutal.
That was fake.
It was?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
I was getting ready to promote that story, and then I did a little bit more background on it. Found out that somebody had put it out there like they did the video of Tim Kaine fussing his children out when it was really Alec Baldwin.
Oh, I gotta relook at that. That looked genuine. It looked.
Yeah, nope.
That looked like
him.
the guy, man.
Wasn't him.
Wow.
Yep, it was
wow.
not him.
I'm guilty then.
Yeah. No, I mean, believe me.
I thought that was him because it was the same demeanor and everything.
Same build, right? Yeah. No, well, it was a little bit less of a build. But
that's why you're the boss, man. That's why it's the Wayne Dupree show.
Dude, I was getting I wanted that as a story though. Can you imagine the hits I would have got off that?
Was that not an ass whooping?
That was
brutal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he beat him up. He beat him up bad. I was like, God.
Kicked him out. That old guy, he like went around the side of the building and he's like, all right, man, I just have dementia now.
I mean, he didn't just beat him. He didn't just beat him like he stole something. He beat him.
Killed him.
Yeah. He's like, damn, dude, just take
and then
his
buddy had to come out. His punk buddy.
Yeah.
I wanted to use another word too. You know. I
know. You
but his punk buddy came out and had to hit him after he was already stunned.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be on Spreaker tomorrow night. Make sure that you follow us on Spreaker. We won't be on RSBN. RSBN will be have the Trump rally tomorrow night and on Monday. So we won't be on RSBN on Wednesday night and Monday night. But we will have a show. Go over to Spreaker. Hutch, how can people get in contact with you?
Hey, go to steelcityresistance.blogspot.com. Everything about me is on there. I'm Hutch Bailey Jr. on Facebook and Gab and Berg's Eye View on Twitter. Thanks, everyone.
I am putting all my stuff into the chat room. Y'all can follow me on Twitter and Facebook, Gab, Instagram. Remember, again, tomorrow night, Spreaker.com, Sheriff Clark, and we'll be back on RSBN on Thursday night. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to The Wayne Dupree Show. Download our free app in Android, Apple, and Google Play.